Started. All right, you guys. So thank you for hopping on. I'm gonna go ahead and mute everyone. Or you guys can mute yourselves. That works too. Thanks. There we go. So I'm Shaina. So a couple of you on here are my personally sponsored coaches, so you guys already know me. But for those of you that are watching the recording or gonna hop on late, I wanted to kind of share a little bit about my story and obviously how I got involved into coaching and why. And then I wanted to go into 4 big things that I've kind of narrowed it down to that have helped me make sure that I hit Success Club every single month. I just passed my 2-year anniversary as a coach, so I'm now a Success Club 5 All-Star Legend. I've made Success Club every single month that I've been a coach. So it's, there's a lot of excuses out there that we can all come up with. But the bottom line is that if you want to grow your business, you have to hit Success Club. It's just, that's the way it goes. So how did I get involved in coaching? I originally lost about 40 pounds on my own without Beachbody stuff back in 2008. It was right after I got back from deployment, and we had been out to sea for 9 months, so I wasn't drinking. I was living off the salad bar. My only break from work was to go to the gym, so I would go twice a day. And then all of a sudden you get back and you miss all your favorite restaurants, and now I'm dating this new guy, and what do? You go out and have drinks and you meet up with friends, and all of a sudden I'm back up to like 170 pounds again, and I'm like, holy crap, what just happened to me? And my husband is, he's in pretty good shape. He runs triathletes and he's run ultra marathons and stuff like that. And so I'm like, man, if I want to hang around with this guy for a while, I should maybe, we gotta, let's find a common interest, right? So we started going to Bikram yoga together. And through Bikram, I 40 pounds, just melted off. And I decided that I didn't really feel well when I ate meat. So I dove into the vegetarian lifestyle, but I had seen my uncle become a vegetarian and gain a bunch of weight because he didn't do the research and kind of went like the pasta route. And I knew that I was doing this to be healthy and whatnot. So I kind of had to relearn how to cook. And through that, I just fell in love with nutrition and learning all this stuff about food and whatever. So through this process, all of a sudden friends and family started asking me questions because I must know what I'm doing, right? Because it's working. So after that, I decided that I was going to get certified as a personal trainer. I don't think I ever had an intention to go work in the gym because I'm not a salesperson. That's just not my thing, and that's what most gyms want you to do. They don't give you clients. They expect you to go hustle people while they're working out in the gym. And I would punch somebody if they came and interrupted my workout to try and get me to buy sessions from them. I think that's ridiculous. So I just did it for my own knowledge. It was something that I was super interested in, and I thought it would give me, a little more credibility if I decided to do private sessions in people's houses or something like that. So I used P90X to get in shape for our wedding. I knew nothing about having a coach or anything like that, and so the support wasn't there. I did the program probably 75% of the way because I didn't have the accountability. And then decided to go after my personal training certification a few months later after we got married. So then fast forward after our first baby, I decided to go back to Beachbody and ordered Shaina Extreme to get back in shape after Trip was born. And it worked really well. I loved it. Again, no coach. I'm sure I had a coach. This coach never reached out to me. So work your leads, you guys. Coach never reached out to me. I did the program, went back to normal life. That was it. When he was about a year old, a girlfriend of mine that was coaching reached out to me and said, hey, why don't you join my challenge group? You're into health and fitness. You're already posting about what what workouts you're doing and stuff like that. Why don't you come join us? And I was like, okay, whatever. I was looking for something different to spruce up my workout routine. So I ordered Brazil butt lift. I had just seen an infomercial about it and all the Victoria's Secret models were on it. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to order it, right? Their marketing is really good. So I ordered Brazil butt lift, not the challenge pack. I turned down Shakeology. I was like, no, I'm breastfeeding. No, I'm not going to do that. I make my own smoothies, blah, blah, blah. You guys have all heard it. So I said all that, turned down Shakeology, and then joined her challenge group and, was doing what you hear people do. They start acting like coaches. I was super interactive in the challenge group, cheering everybody on, posting all the time. So of course she said, hey, why don't you hop on the phone with me and my mentor, Jessie, and learn about this coaching thing. And I was like, maybe, and I hate disappointing friends and I can't say no. So I hopped on the phone. I think Jessie was about 2 years into coaching at that point. And she, Anne, my friend, was still very, very new. So Jessie kind of took over most of the conversation and was helping Anne through the process. And afterward, I was just like, no way, I'm not selling anything. I'm not, network marketing is not my thing. My husband had tried it with a different company and I didn't love their approach. And so I kind of had a bad taste in my mouth for the network marketing model. So I was super turned off by that idea. I still wasn't going to drink the shakes. And so I said no for a year. And then a year after that, I was 35 weeks pregnant with my daughter. So this is the summer of 2014. And Jessie had added me as a friend on Facebook, so I'd been watching her posts and seeing them, and I'm sure you guys all know where this is going to go, but she posted something that caught my attention. I seriously can't even tell you what it was. I don't know what she said, and to this day, I wish I had written it down or copied it somewhere because I would use it because it obviously works. But she posted something and it just got me thinking. I was consumed by dirty diapers and spit up, and I was about to dive into this crazy world of trying to figure out how to divide my attention between a 2-year-old and a newborn. And I was kind of going a little bit crazy. I felt like I had lost myself. I didn't have anything going on for me. And so I was talking to my husband about possibly getting yoga certified or bar certified or something like that after she was born, just to teach like one class a week, just to have that something for me, after he got home from work or on the weekends or something like that. I just kind of had been consumed in this mom role and I needed a little outlet for myself, which, so many moms probably feel like. And so I reached out to Jessie and I said, I think I want some more information. I don't know if I want to coach yet, but I definitely want to find out more. So she added me to a coaching sneak peek, and it was all tons of success stories. I remember Brad Bizjack was in there, and Jessie told her story, and Tanya told her story, and I don't remember, there were a handful of other people, but those were the 3 that stuck out to me. And I read through them all one night, and I told my husband, I said, you have to come in here and read this. And at that point for us, my husband had gotten out of the military. He was working 60 to 75 hours a week in a sales job that he absolutely hated. He was not a super fun person to be around because he was so stressed about work, and he was on 100% commission, which a family of 4 in Orange County on 100% commission is really stressful because you can't live on like $40,000 a year. And so I said, if I could just do enough to ease the stress a little bit, that would be awesome. I would love to do that for us. And so he said, okay, but even paying $115 a month for your Shakeology and to be a coach is like stretching it for us. Like we don't have room in our budget for that right now. We were already in the red most months, and digging into our savings account. And so I said, okay. I was like, give me 90 days. I will give it my all for 90 days. And if it's not working at the end of that, I will walk away and we'll pretend like this never happened. And he said, okay. He's always been super supportive of all my crazy ideas. And so he was like, all right, do it. So I ordered the PIO challenge pack. I reached out to about 20 of my girlfriends that were moms of, preschoolers and younger, and told them like, hey, this is what I'm doing to get back in shape after the baby. Who wants to join me? 10 of them said yes. That was my first challenge group, and here I am 2 years later doing the same thing. But I'm in the middle of a PIO challenge group right now. That's all postpartum mamas. But my first month, I made over $700 from that, and it's just grown from there. I got to that 90-day mark, and I was like, well, so, it's working, so let's just keep doing it. But from the very beginning, all I ever did was do exactly what Jessie told me to do. My friend Anne is no longer part of the Beachbody community, but so Jessie is my coach and who I signed up under. But all I've ever done is exactly what she told me to do. I watched what she's doing, with her success, and I've asked questions, and I said, how are you doing this? What is your business plan looking like this month? And she's always been super transparent with me. And I've turned around, pressed the I believe button, and did the exact same thing. And so that's what I aim to do for my coaches, and that's in turn how I'm guessing I'm, building a great team and, seeing that success. My success partner is somebody that's not in Jessie's downline, but she is a year ahead of me and has crossed the threshold into six-figure land. And she's like, you're exactly where I was at the 2-year mark. So, just keep doing what you're doing. So for those of you that are listening to this and thinking like, this is taking too long, this isn't working, I've hit a plateau with my income, or, my team's not moving forward. If you're doing something that's working for you, keep doing it. The momentum and, the compound effect eventually is going to play out over time. So, okay, so I have 4 big things. I kind of sat down last night and thought about, what are the big overarching themes that I have really focused on over the last 2 years that have really helped me make sure that I hit my business goals every single month. So the first one is, there are going to be seasons in your business, and over time, you're obviously not going to see those as a brand new coach, but this is where asking other coaches and asking your coach comes into play. But knowing that, the momentum in this business and in the fitness industry in general is going to ebb and flow throughout the year, right? And so if you know that ahead of time, those are things that you can anticipate and plan for. So for me, I know that September is generally a little bit trickier of a month to hit Success Club. It was the first year, it was last year, and I'm anticipating it being a little bit more tricky this year, just because people are focused on back to school. Their money is going toward back to school shopping and school fees and this and that, and they're getting back into a routine, so they're not quite ready to commit to anything new yet. And so, okay, so what do we do about that? So it's going to be really hard for me to hit Success Club this month. What am I going to do to make sure that I'm not stressing about it come September 29th, right? So I am literally right now in the middle of following up with every single no that I have gotten over the last 6 months. People that never answered me, people that our conversations fizzled out, people that it wasn't the right time for them because they were getting ready to go on vacation, people that had one excuse or another to not join my challenge group. I'm reaching out to every single one of them in order to start my challenge group on September 12th. So this has been going on for a couple of weeks now, but that's a ton of follow-ups every single day. We're talking like 25 or 30, right? And so I'm just reaching out to them and saying, hey, Susie, I know we chatted a couple of months ago, like, how's the rest of your summer going? We get into conversation. So listen, I just wanted to let you know I am starting a, back to school, back to you fall fitness challenge group on September 12th. And I know when we chatted before about my challenge group, you were interested in working on ABC, restate their goals, because I've taken notes on our conversation, or you can read back through if you go into the message thread in your Facebook Messenger, refresh your own memory about what you guys had chatted about before so that you can remind them of their goals. I know before you were interested in working on this, this, and this. I would love to have you join our fall challenge group. Maybe now is a better time for you. Is this something you might be interested in? I like adding that maybe now is a better time for you, because it's very, it's not, oh, you had an excuse before, or, it's very, I feel like it's really soft and it's friendly, and it's inviting. And I've had really good luck with it. So I've had a couple people sign up for my challenge group so far. So that's one of them. The other thing is to maybe those months that are kind of difficult for you, so maybe like December, because everybody's spending their money on Christmas presents and not thinking about themselves, maybe that's a month out of the year that you come up with extra incentives for people that are joining your challenge group, or incentives for people that give you referrals, like people that are in your challenge group right now, talking to them about the refer 3, get yours free, and various incentives, like if you do get 3 people to join your challenge group, maybe this is a gift that I have for you, or something like that. Or when you post your call to actions on your page, like I just ordered a big box of shakers, and I said that I would gift one to the next 3 people that are joining my challenge group, and somebody commented right away that they wanted to join. So little things like that. When you're new as a coach, obviously you don't have a ton of money to invest back into your business, and so picking and choosing the times of year when you do something like that, just be super strategic about it. So I choose to do it during the months when I need a little boost to help me get to Success Club. Okay, so number 2, having a tracking system for following up. I was just talking about going through my massive follow-ups for the last 6 months. Make sure that you guys have a tracking system. If you don't, people are going to fall through the cracks. It's just going to happen. Especially if you're sending out, 10, 20, 30 invites a day, like some of these top coaches are doing, 30 to 50 or something crazy. You have to have a way to keep up with that. And so, whether you are an electronics person or you are a pen and paper person, it doesn't matter. You have to find a system that works for you and stick with it and use it. So, like for me, I'm definitely a pen and paper kind of person. So for the longest time in my business, when I filled out my power of 3 for the week, on Sunday evening when I was doing my business planning for the coming week, I would just staple the new one on top of the pile. That way I could just flip back through and see all those names. And then if I didn't remember a name because it had been 3, 4, or 5 weeks or whatever, I'd go to my notebook and see where I took notes on a conversation or read back through the message thread or whatever. But keeping all that stuff together, or if you have a notebook that you just want to keep a running list of people that you chat with, or whatever you want to do, the business activity tracker, some people prefer that to the power of 3, or the new one that Jesse just designed a couple months ago. If you are more of an electronics person and you prefer to keep your stuff tracked on the computer, Google Streak is amazing, and Teamsy is kind of the same thing. You have to pay for it. So, but it was designed by a coach specifically for coaches. So the cool thing, I forced myself to move over to Google Streak. My stack of papers was getting really big. So I use Google Streak, and the thing I really like about it is you can set up alerts in there. So once I send somebody an email or send somebody a message, I can go back into their file in Google Streak and set up an alert, follow up with them in 3 days or whatever it is. So when it sends me that alert at 1 in the morning and I come down to my computer to do my power hour in the morning, oh look, there's my list of follow-ups right there already done for me. So just making sure that you have a tracking system that works for you, and that you're using it and implementing it is huge, so that you have those people to follow up with. Okay, so number 3, and this is one that you guys hear probably all the time, but it's so important. Be a product of the product and share your journey. If you are not drinking Shakeology and doing a program and sharing your results with people, how are they going to know that this works? How are they going to know, what being consistent with this stuff is doing for you? Even if, we're all going to get to a point, I would hope or think that, our transformation photos aren't, from month to month are not going to be very drastic. So like right before I got pregnant with Colin, I was probably in the best shape that I've ever been in. So, if I was taking progress photos, they didn't look a whole lot different than they did 6 weeks ago. But, keeping old photos on hand so you can do, 6 months ago compared to right now, or before coaching versus during coaching, or, just little things like that. And it doesn't, honestly, some people, it takes a long time for them to step outside of their comfort zone and share those transformation photos. So it doesn't even have to be a physical transformation in, a bikini kind of photo. It can be, I used to never be able to do push-ups, and now that I'm 3 weeks into PIO, I can do 5 of them. Or, I used to skip breakfast all the time, and I ate healthy the rest of the day, and I was wondering what was keeping me from reaching my weight loss goals. Now I have Shakeology for breakfast every morning, and this is what's happening. Transformations can look different. They don't have to be side-by-side photos. It can be something that you're sharing from your life, which is what we're all supposed to be doing anyway, right? But be consistent. It's okay. Being consistent with your journey and sharing it, and not just throwing up a sweaty selfie and being like, hey, I worked out today. That doesn't do a whole lot for people. A lot of people are going to be like, that's great, block, you're annoying me because I don't work out and you're just like little Miss Ray of Sunshine over there. People, they get really annoyed. But if you are sharing some sort of, thought you had about how much you didn't want to get up and work out this morning, but share with them the reasons that you did. Or, maybe you share a quote from your personal development that you did while you were waiting for your Energize to kick in, or, something like that. But, do more than just, hey, I worked out today, or hey, I drank my Shakeology today. Be creative with that stuff. And then the last one, this has been super important for me, as a busy mom, single mom, basically, but just being super strict and setting business hours. When I was a brand new coach, and I hear this from my coaches all the time, it is so easy to get burned out because we love what we do. And when you see that quick success, it's so easy to want to work all the time. But the whole point of this business, you guys, is to create freedom of time so that you can have that time with your family, so you can have that time to do the things that you enjoy, rather than being stuck in an office or being a slave to someone else's schedule that they set for you. So if you are getting sucked into being on the computer all the time, or having your face in your phone all the time, it defeats the purpose, right? So, in the beginning, the best piece of advice that I got from another coach named Amanda Trust, some of you may have seen her on Facebook, she's kind of all over the place, but she told me, turn off your notifications on your phone. Just turn them off. If somebody sends you a message with a question about a challenge pack, with a question about coaching, are they gonna drop dead because you didn't answer them in the next hour? Absolutely not. It's just not gonna happen. And and what I experienced is that when I was constantly working from my phone, I'm not constantly dragging my notebook around with me either, right? So now I've got all this stuff swimming around in my brain and I'm getting so unorganized. My follow-ups are not tracked. People are falling through the cracks and it was not working out for me. So I turned my notifications off on my phone and I only answered messages when I went to the computer to work during my set business hours. I communicate those hours with my husband. So obviously he doesn't care right now, but when he's home, he knows after the kids go to bed and the kitchen is clean, mama has 60 minutes of dedicated time in the office, whether it's after we have a little bit of time to hang out together or he wants me to go get it done and then we have the rest of the night to hang out together, that's fine. But he knows I get 60 minutes of dedicated work time every Sunday through Thursday. I don't have my night work time on Fridays because we usually are doing something as a family, and then Saturdays it's Saturday. I do my business hours. I'll tell you guys what my schedule looks like as a stay-at-home mom. My alarm goes off at 5. And obviously there are going to be seasons in your business where this will ebb and flow a little bit. But the important thing is having a set schedule and sticking to it so that you're not all over the place with your work. So right now my alarm goes off at 5. It's just enough to make the baby stir because he's in there with me. So I will pick him up, I'll feed him, get dressed, head downstairs, and I'm usually downstairs by 5:30. He's back to sleep. The other 2 kids I know are sleeping till generally about 7 o'clock. So I've got 90 minutes to get this done, right? So I get my Energize, I bring it in the office, I drink it while I'm listening to my personal development and doing my morning affirmations. I give that about 20 minutes. I head to the garage to get my workout done. And then, so right now that's looking like about half an hour. And then I have usually, sometimes at 6:30, I'll have a coach call scheduled in the morning. So I'll do that from 6:30 to about 6:45, 6:50. And then I roll right into mama mode. And then when the kids are down for naps and quiet time is when I get my power hour done. So I am sending out friend requests, I'm sending out follow-ups, I'm sending out hey girl messages to people that, accepted my friend requests overnight. I'm replying to messages for people that, sent me messages in the morning. I'm checking in with my challenge group, checking in on my team page, all that kind of stuff. All the typical stuff that you guys see during a power hour. And then at night during that hour is when I'm heavy into conversations, because a lot of people are on social media at night. Kind of doesn't matter what time zone they're in, whether they are just putting the kids to bed and they're sitting on the couch watching TV, scrolling through their phone, or, they're up in bed scrolling through their phone because everybody takes their phone to bed with them now, right? But I get a lot of my back and forth conversing going on at night. So that's kind of when I save that stuff for. But it used to be that I was doing my power hour in the morning and I would do my workout after the kids had breakfast because they would just join me. But that doesn't work with the baby schedule now. So just knowing when you need to switch that up. But the hours that I work are generally pretty much the same. I'm just kind of tweaking when I'm doing certain business activities. But that's when I fit it in, you guys. I mean, honestly, this call right now is outside of my normal business hours, but this is a one-time thing. So my kids are happily watching a quick TV show, and then we'll go back to our regular routine. Not a big deal. It's just, they know mama's in here working for a little bit, and that's it. As long as you guys communicate that stuff with your spouses, most importantly, so that they still feel like they are getting their time, and then you are getting your time, so that there's no resentment toward your business, because you're not always going to have successful months, super successful months. And so when those little valleys in your business hit, you still want your spouse to be super supportive. So making sure that you guys are setting that time aside for family stuff on top of this is super important. And it helps me feel more organized. to have all my work in one space. That way it's all on paper and not swimming around in my brain, because we know there's enough going on in there as moms, you know, or dads and whoever else is listening to this. But we're all busy. We all have crazy lives. And so everything you guys can do to keep this organized and kind of compartmentalized into certain parts of your day instead of being all over the place, I've found has really helped me with my business. So with that being said, those are kind of my 4 big things that I wanted to share with you. So I will, I'm going to go ahead and unmute guys. Oops, I muted myself. How do I, all right, I'm having a brain fart moment. If you have a question, go ahead and unmute yourself, and then we can kind of go from there.
I have a quick question. I've heard so many times about the turn your notifications off. Does anybody else like get scared to do that?
I did. Yeah. I totally got nervous because I was like, people are going to think I'm ignoring them.
I know.
But here's the thing. So my coaches and my team knows this. They know I have super strict business hours, and they know that if they have a question that needs to be answered immediately, they can ask in our team page, because I'm not the only one that can answer their question. You know what I mean? Like, that's the whole point of having a team, is that we're all working together. So if they have a question that they need answered right away, let them know. Like, go to our team page, go to Jesse's team page, whatever, and ask your question, and somebody will get back to you super quickly. But as far as like prospects for my challenge group and things like that, I haven't had anybody get mad at me because I didn't answer them right away.
It's totally a personal thing, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, it's fine. But I did feel that way, but you'll notice that that's not the case. Like,
just bite the bullet and do it. Yeah. I have one other question, and I'll be quiet. Yeah. When did you kind of jump out of the umbrella of Jesse's team? When did you like start your own team name, team page, all that kind of stuff? Like, when was that time?
I think I did it like when I became a diamond, so about 2 months into my business. But do it as soon as you have coaches on your team, even if they are just, there I go, talking about turning notifications off. It was a text from my brother-in-law though. If you have any coaches on your team, start a team page, you know? So what I do is I have a team page and I have a personally sponsored page, just like Jesse does. And I will put everyone that signs up under me in my personally sponsored page, even discount coaches. And then I put people that are interested in working the business, and I tell my coaches, add, you know, anyone on your team. So my Team Ignite page is open to my whole downline that's interested in working the business. And then once someone hits Emerald on my team, they get moved to Jesse's page too. So I try not to overwhelm them with too much stuff. And so if they're just a discount coach, I'm not going to add them to, you know, my team page and then Jesse's team page, and that's silly. So, because the thing is, and it's just like if you have a business page and a personal page on Facebook, if somebody goes to your business page to decide if they want to follow you or not, but you haven't really been offering a ton of value over there, they're not going to have any reason to follow you, right? So you're consistently posting and offering value even before you have a huge following. The same thing goes for your team page. You know, when you do get a business builder on your team and you want to add them into your team page, add them in and give them something to look at. You know what I mean? So you've been posting about National Wake Up Calls and Success Club incentives, and you've been posting training call recordings and stuff like that. And, you know, just little motivational, whatever you want to do in your team page. But when, you know, say you have 6 discount coaches and then all of a sudden you have this person come in and they're like, I want to rock this business and, you know, whatever. And then you add them to your team page and there hasn't been anything going on in there. They're going to be like, oh crap, I joined a team and there's nothing going on, you know? So I would just do it.
Okay.
Even if you're talking to crickets, just do it. And you know, you've heard some of the top coaches talk about when they started doing team calls, one person would show up and it was their mother-in-law. Like Summer Tucker was talking about this on the weekly call. And one person would show up and it was my mother-in-law. And then two people would show up and it was my mother-in-law and my sister. You know, she was like, but week after week, I still kept showing up and sharing a message. And from there, it just grew. And now she's got hundreds of people that show up every week. So it's just, yeah, fake it till you make it. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. If you want to be a 5-star coach, you just got to act like one now.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else have any questions? Nope. Awesome. Cool, guys. Well, thanks for hanging out. Hi, Katie. I feel like I haven't seen you in forever. Cool. I'm going to stop the recording.